Welcome. I'm Sister Rosemarie Greco, Director of Wisdom House Retreat Center here in Litchfield, Connecticut. This week we've been having a retreat on uncovering our cosmic roots, and our speaker for the retreat is Sister Margaret Gagliardi, a Dominican sister from Amityville, New York. We'd like to ask Margaret to speak to us a little bit about what she has been presenting in this retreat, because it's very timely in terms of the future of our world and the future of our lives. So Margaret, I'd like to ask you, in your retreat, Uncovering Our Cosmic Roots, what have you been unearthing of this?
Well, what we've been really uncovering is a deeper and more profound understanding of the universe and all creation, of what it means to be human, and how we understand the divine. And what we do in this retreat is we go back to what's called the common creation story now, what scientists are telling us about the creation, the ongoing, emerging and ongoing unfolding of our 13.8 billion year universe story. And the role of the ongoing role of the human in that unfolding. So what we've discovered is we are much more profound than we thought we were. And the universe and the divine is much more profound than we ever even imagined. So in the words of Thomas Berry, we discover that creation, the universe, is a communion of subjects, not a collection of objects. A maxim that's very important for us, as scientists tell us at this point in time. We are facing into the 6th great extinction period. We are losing species at an unprecedented rate. And we know also that we are facing the threat of global climate change. So we circle around first with a very deep probing, the deep understanding of creation, of what it means to be human at this point in the story. And then we come around to these issues and we say, how does this deep understanding, this consciousness, shift in consciousness about who we are, tells us, how does that tell us who we are to be in the world at this point in time? We know that the cosmos unfolded with its own mysterious powers, and we're now at a point where the human is guiding the evolutionary unfolding. And so we need a lot more wisdom than we currently have. We need what's called really the wisdom of the universe. And what we discover is everything is sacred. Everything is holy. From the very beginning, the divine was pouring the divine self out in love. That's what creation is. It's a manifestation of the divine. And as we encounter that, we begin to realize the care with which we must interact with all creation. The Pope, in his new encyclical on creation, Laudato Si', reminded us of something which we've known for a long time. Everything has inherent, intrinsic value. All of creation is valuable for what it is in itself, not simply for what it can do for the human, right? So this creation story, it kind of takes us off our kind of the pinnacle of creation and helps us to realize that we are members of the community of life. And we are to be interacting in the community of life with what's called the non-dual consciousness of Jesus the Christ, among others, okay? And it's a consciousness which sees all things, all beings relating and related to each other, and sees the oneness of it all. And through that deep understanding, of the love of the divine, which is manifested in the universe, the non-dual consciousness of the Christ, that is what we are called to live out of. And so from there, we begin to look at some of the very practical things, how we live our lives, how we eat. And certainly Wisdom House is such a wonderful place to be as we look at all of those things, because they model for us a new way of being, a way of being that takes care with the food that we eat, with the food that we grow, water, our concern for water, our care in the use of water. These are all things which are given to us from the divine. And what we realize is we thought we were apart, separate from all of this. And now we realize we are not apart at all, we're a part. We're akin, we are kin to all creation, to the waters, to the seas. And in essence, that's what the Holy Father told us, too, in his encyclical. In Laudate Si. So we begin to be concerned about things like how we heat our homes, how we cool our homes, how much we drive, how frequently we drive, how much fossil fuel emissions we are putting into the air. So in one sense, it goes from the profound right down to the very, very practical. And we had one member of the group say last night, you know, I've heard about these things before, and it broadened my consciousness, but today, now, after listening to all this, I feel that it is all, the whole thing has expanded. So we're in the process of facilitating this change in consciousness. That will really guide the earth into the next stage of its unfolding.